This is the world's most secure convoy. The asset being protected here is possibly more important than the President of the United States. Inside this convoy, nuclear weapons are being transported from one location to another. If this convoy is attacked during transportation, the result could be that the world's most dangerous weapon falls into the wrong hands. The damage caused would not affect just one country, but the entire world. That is why no compromise of any kind can be made on its security. How does a superpower like America transport nuclear weapons? What types of vehicles are used in this convoy? And if an attack occurs, how do federal agents handle the situation? Viewers, there are 12,515 nuclear weapons in the world, out of which 41% belong solely to the United States of America. All these weapons are spread across different parts of the country. Active nuclear weapons are deployed with the U.S. Air Force, the military, and Navy submarines. However, thousands of these weapons are kept in storage mode. These are backup weapons distributed across North America. Now, the question is, why are nuclear weapons kept dispersed? Nuclear weapons are always hidden in different regions of a country, and this information is extremely sensitive. This is done so that the enemy cannot disable them with a single attack. The advantage of dispersing nuclear weapons is that even if an enemy attacks, they cannot destroy all nuclear weapons at once. In this way, a country still retains some nuclear weapons for self-defense. Now that nuclear weapons are already stored safely, why is there a need to transport them from one place to another? The biggest reason is maintenance. Just like other military weapons require maintenance, nuclear weapons also require regular maintenance. Obviously, there's no state of war at all times, and weapons are not used constantly. Because of this, over time, their mechanical parts can begin to rust or degrade. In addition, it is especially important to monitor the health of plutonium or uranium inside nuclear weapons, so that when the time comes to use them, they do not fail. That is why, considering all these factors, nuclear weapons are installed at strategic locations. However, their maintenance is carried out at specialized facilities located at central locations. In the case of the United States, a separate federal agency is responsible for the security and maintenance of all nuclear weapons. This agency is called the National Nuclear Security Administration. There are also other reasons for moving nuclear weapons away from strategic locations, such as security concerns. For example, if intelligence agencies receive information that a nuclear weapons location has been leaked, it is immediately relocated. The areas where nuclear weapons are stored have such strict and perfect security that it is nearly impossible to even approach them without authorization. However, when these weapons must be moved from one location to another, weapons capable of destroying an entire city in seconds are transported through the same public roads used daily by ordinary people. As long as these weapons remain hidden in remote locations, the situation is manageable. But once they come onto public roads, security becomes extremely complicated. To deal with this challenge, the U.S. government has established a dedicated agency whose sole responsibility is nuclear weapons security. The military convoys you see are commonly used in the United States to transport nuclear weapons from one place to another. At first glance, these convoys may not appear as large as a VIP security convoy. However, in reality, they are so secure that an ordinary person cannot even imagine such a level of protection. The number of vehicles in a convoy can vary. This depends on how large the nuclear weapon is and where it is being transported. Police vehicles move ahead of and behind the convoy. Their job is to clear traffic and allow the convoy to pass without stopping. Between these police vehicles are the actual convoy units. These include armored vehicles that move alongside the transport truck at a specific distance and position. These vehicles are known as Bearcat vehicles. Calling these vehicles bulletproof would be an understatement because they are far more secure than that. Each armored vehicle carries 4 to 6 trained federal agents. Their job is to protect the convoy and carry out counterattacks if necessary. In these armored vehicles, you can see small firing ports at various locations. Through these ports, agents can fire without stepping outside the vehicle. These agents are not ordinary individuals, but highly trained commandos. They are equipped with handguns, shotguns, assault rifles, and thousands of rounds of ammunition. If the situation still escalates, automatic machine guns mounted on top of the armored vehicles can also be used. However, all these weapons are only used in case of serious threats, such as an attack on the nuclear transport truck. During normal transportation operations, agents carefully monitor even the smallest details and continuously share information with one another. All convoy vehicles are connected through radio communication. This communication operates on 3 different channels. On one channel, all armored vehicles coordinate with each other. On the second channel, agents receive updates from other convoy vehicles. According to standard operating procedures, a convoy must include at least 7 armored vehicles. 5 vehicles remain with the transport truck, while the remaining 2 operate 1 kilometer ahead. Every few minutes, the commander inside the main convoy checks conditions with the 2 forward armored vehicles. The purpose of dividing communication into multiple channels is to ensure that if an attacker jams one radio frequency, or if the main convoy faces an issue, the forward vehicles can use a separate channel to call for help. In addition, the entire convoy is connected to an emergency control center through a 3rd channel. The control center staff continuously tracks the convoy's location and immediately arranges backup forces in case of an emergency. If such a situation arises, the control center sends additional forces that contact convoy agents according to strict standard operating procedures, whether the backup force is police or military. The control center provides both forces with encrypted code words via secure radio links. Upon arrival at the scene, neither force trusts the other until the secret codes match. This is done to prevent attackers from impersonating police officers and gaining access to nuclear weapons. This is just one of countless standard operating procedures, as agents have different protocols for handling every possible scenario. The truck moving between the armored vehicles is also not an ordinary truck. After all, this entire security system exists for that truck alone. The truck used to transport nuclear weapons is fully customized and designed specifically for this purpose. Its body is made of hardened steel, which cannot be cut with standard tools. Grinding machines and drilling equipment are ineffective, and even in the event of an accident, the body does not crack. Even if the truck is exposed to fire, its structure can protect the nuclear weapon inside for several hours. The driver's cabin is bulletproof and bomb-resistant. No matter what happens, its doors can only be opened from the inside. The strength of the truck protects it from attackers, but it also comes with one disadvantage. The truck weighs approximately 25,000 kilograms, which is significantly heavier than a normal truck. Because of this weight, it cannot move at high speeds or take sharp turns during an attack. However, this weakness hides another security feature. If attackers somehow manage to seize the truck and attempt to drive it away, explosives mounted on the axle will detonate. This causes the truck to separate from its wheels and collapse onto the ground. Due to its extreme weight, dragging the truck without wheels becomes impossible. As for the nuclear weapon inside the truck, even convoy agents do not have access to open its container. The container is secured with electronic locks, and the electronic keys are held only by the National Nuclear Security Administration. Even if someone forcibly reaches the cargo area, they are greeted by an automatic spray system inside the container. This spray is extremely thick and adhesive. Once it comes into contact with a person, it severely restricts movement. If someone still remains inside the container, they receive an electric shock. The voltage of this shock is 6 times higher than household electricity. And yes, it is important to mention that the entire convoy is constantly monitored by 2 helicopters. When the fuel level of one helicopter drops, 2 replacement helicopters take over, allowing the first to withdraw. Each helicopter carries a separate backup force. These agents are prepared to go to any extreme necessary to protect the nuclear weapon. Because of all these security measures, the world's most dangerous weapons have never fallen into the wrong hands, at least not in the United States. In American history, nuclear weapons have been transported thousands of times. Yet, to this day, not a single convoy has ever been attacked, We hope you will like and share this Golden TV video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for your love and supportive comments. We will see you in the next amazing video.